Hey everybody, this is a different video. This has to do with Fayette Piedmont Hospital and Stephen Porter and the emergency room that's really broken there. And that's an understatement. I put this on video about a couple weeks ago now, and it was to communicate a horrifying experience as it was happening. My mother went to the emergency room because she had what turned out to be a a problem with her gas system that she thought was a heart attack where she couldn't breathe. Anyway, that part was straightened out. They got her blood pressure down, but to a point, the nurse that was assigned there, we barely saw her. She was very rude. She was very cutting. She talked to my mom badly and myself. My mom complained about her by the time I was allowed to go in to see my mom. And it just got worse. There was another person there who in the room as well, who decided for some particular reason she wasn't in the room. She was actually going past the room, and she saw me putting my mom's uh, head up, making her comfortable, and came in and basically acted like I shouldn't be doing that, not realizing that my mother's son, and not even bothering to ask questions that are supportive. Uh, and these are folks who look like me, okay? And but they're black. And so, long story short, uh, this lady, my mom says she had the uh, blood pressure arm around her, and my mom was saying was hurting her. And could you like loosen it? And that's something that's easily done. Instead of doing that quickly, this lady gives some song and dance about why she thinks it's logical to have it that way. And I said, ma'am, you're actually affecting my mother's blood pressure. I mean, I can't believe I have to say these things. All right. But I did. And so she took the strip off. So the other nurse came in and raised this fit like she had completely taken some drug that made her hyper. Where is it? What happened? Who did this? She acted like she was going to, no, she was throwing a tantrum. I've never seen that kind of behavior in my entire life. All right. And then she said, well, you've been discharged and no one told us. She's telling us. Then she gave us what she thought were the discharge papers, but they weren't. And then brought in this wheelchair and everything. And so I thought, well, let me go get the chain. They called it the charge nurse. So I got her. I told her what the problem was. Whatever the nurse said to her, it was a lie. So next thing I'm sitting there, and my mom is in bed, and they brought two security guards in with the charge nurse. And I looked at them like, why are you here? I didn't say. I looked at them like, huh? I mean, I was completely puzzled. And mom was like, you're kicking us out? I mean, here's my mother in bed, 89 years old. They say they're ostensibly trying to, get her blood pressure down and all that. It's like, well, yeah, you have to leave and all this stuff because you've been discharged. All right. They handled everything rough. I don't mean physically rough, but there was the threat of that. And my mom is 89 years old and wouldn't harm a flea. You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? My mother's 89 years old and wouldn't harm a flea. And she's in bed in an emergency room, which is cold as I don't know what. This is Fayette Piedmont Hospital, ran by Stephen Porter, who's the chief executive officer. And it's around town known that their emergency room is awful. Well, do something about it. Do you know how bad it was? Because I'm down here for my mom, right? And I have to be honest, a lot of African Americans who look like me act like they don't like other black folks. And I'm serious, they really do. They save their worst treatment for you if it's service, their worst attitude for you. And literally give this image that, hey, if you're white, it's okay. You're loved and everything. We're going to treat you nice. That's how they act. I had not one, but two nurses in the Fayette Piedmont Hospital emergency room give an answer to this question. I said, why does it seem like the Black folks who work here don't like Black patients? Do you know what they said? Well, you're right. These are two nurses telling me I'm right. They say they've seen it. They say it's been talked about. It is a problem. Okay? It is a problem. Fayette Piedmont Hospital should tell their people, easy fix for Stephen Porter. Tell your people to leave their personal stuff at home or get fired. Someone else was saying, well, they are traveling nurses. Well, even if they're traveling nurses, everyone that comes into work should have work rules that they abide by. And if they don't, then they should be asked to leave. And I'll have to say this, the nurses that helped my mom on the main floor when she had a room before that week were great and Black. And well, in fairness, Black, Indian, white, but all very attentive and very nice to my mother. But the emergency room, different story. It should be the same. It should be exactly the same. And the emergency room shouldn't be thought of as a prison. We had a doctor who worked on my mom who said, well, you know, when I was trying to explain to him my mom's condition and some other details that my mom, you know, would leave out by just, she can't help that. That's why I'm here. And so he's saying, well, you know, I know this seems like a prison. Well, why does it seem like a prison to you, doctor? Why do you think of it in those terms? Is it because you want to run it like a prison? Is that a way of expressing how you think about your own patients because they're Black? All right. What's going on down there is horrible. You hear me? Horrible. Okay? Horrible. Absolutely horrible. And it shouldn't be. It doesn't need to be. It can be better. But someone has to care enough to want to fix it. There is no excuse for treating people inappropriately or giving them bad environments in their later years. No excuse whatsoever. And an emergency room is precisely that. It's an emergency room. You go there because you have an emergency. It shouldn't be left to income. We didn't ask to be taken to Fayette Piedmont. It was closest for us. And before you think, oh, it's a bad neighborhood, it's not. Fayette Piedmont Hospital is a stone's throw away from Trilla Studios, where the Marvel and Avengers movie were made when it was called Pinewood Studios. Yeah, it's that close. It literally is between, it's in Fayetteville, but it's also close to Peachtree City by, you know, maybe another stone's throw away from the boundary. That's it. So this stuff's got to stop. Okay? It really does. This is the 21st century. This is 2024. We can do better by each other. I don't care what country, what part of the country you're in. North, south, east, west. People deserve fair and good treatment. That should be a presidential campaign issue. Gives me an idea. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark Zenny62blog.com and ZennyReport.com and one of my newer websites, San Diego Comic Con News.com. I'll see you.